Well, everybody, this is just a little short video on some of the things that I do. I don't know if anybody else does, but every motor that I pull apart and I get the top end off, I always check your rods. So you can check them for side-to-side play, back and forth this way, and also your front rod back and forth. And another thing that I usually do is I usually rotate the crankshaft 360 degrees, and every so many degrees I stop the crank and I rotate the rods back and forth together from front to back. If I feel any kind of binding, then there's an issue with the crank. So here's the crank right now that I'm doing in this 2008 Road King. So have a look at this. Now that rear rod, if this was free, this rod would actually fall to the back. So see how tight it is? So what's going to happen was when this motor gets hotter, it's just going to get even tighter, which you're going to lose horsepower. So see how I have to tap that basically? Now I move this and then the front rod moves, because that whole assembly down in here is too tight. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these so they're free to a point, and then I'm gonna rotate them counterclockwise and then rock them back and forth, and then you can see how it's tight. Or that front rod should move in without the back one moving. So if I hold it and I move that front one, so what it's doing, it's pinching in here. There's no side play in between the units. So I'll bring them down a little farther, and same thing again. See how that back one is moving? That's a no-no. Bring it all the way down to the bottom, and it even gets tighter. So now I'm banging that with my finger trying to move it, where there's no play in there whatsoever. Like I said, you try to get to the point where you have play as you're rotating it around, and then I come back here again and it's tight, because that back rod right now, if it was loose, would fall down back here where my finger is. So, and there we are again. See how it just drops there? That's what you want it. But when you bring it to a certain spot, it stays. So there's something that what you need to check when you're building motors. So I have to make a phone call.